Hey everyone, thanks for joining. It's John from Friends with Your Benefits. In this video, we're going to talk about one of the best kept open secrets as it relates to a health insurance plan that your employer may offer you. So what is this open secret and why do I care? So there is a thing in the benefits world called an EAP. So let's take a step back and understand really what the purpose of an EAP is. So I think we're all familiar with if you happen to have the need for a medical service, you go to see your provider and the provider will charge you a deductible, coinsurance, copay, what have you, based upon your underlying plan design. But what has been developed over the years is this thing called an EAP. So the purpose of the EAP is to provide employees an assistance plan in order to help them with some of their acute needs. So there's typically three elements of an EAP. The first is the counseling session, which is for mental health and substance abuse counseling. The other is for financial counseling. And then the third is, let's say you're going through some sort of lifestyle issue with childcare, elder care, and you need help finding resources. That rounds out the third component of the EAP. As it relates to health insurance, we're going to talk about the first component over here, which is the mental health and substance abuse benefit. So the great thing about the EAP is it actually provides you with no cost access to high quality in-network counselors for the mental health and substance abuse issues. So let's think of it this way. Let's say you have a mental health issue, and let's say, for example, you're dealing with anxiety. You ultimately have two options. Number one, you can go through your normal health insurance plan that your employer may offer you, and you would pay copay, deductible, and coinsurance as mentioned before, or you go the EAP route. So how do you find this EAP? So let's say you start your job and HR gives you a stack of papers. It might be somewhere buried in there. It also will probably be listed somewhere in your open enrollment materials, whether or not it's digital or the employer happened to give you something on paper. So you're able to go, you track it down. And the important thing about the EAP is it's all confidential. They don't report the information back to your employer on why you are seeing a particular EAP provider. So you either call their 1-800 number or go on their website and you see a list of providers that are in your area, and the providers are sorted by their background, their specialty, and then also by gender and of course location. So let's say you find the provider that you are interested in, you take a look at that provider, and then the thing to note with the EAP benefit is it's typically designed to be for acute short-term needs. So what I mean by that is most employers will offer an EAP benefit that has anywhere between 3 to 6 visits per issue per year. So the key there is per issue. So let's say you're dealing with an anxiety issue, but later on in the year you have a separate relationship issue. You would actually get an additional 3 visits for the relationship issue that you are looking to resolve or talk about. Okay, so that sounds great. So John, what happens after you use up, let's say, your 3 visits? Well, after your 3 visits, the counselor or underlying provider will reach out to you and say, hey, John, I see you want some additional sessions. If you want to continue your sessions, provide us with your health insurance card, and then we will bill your plan. And then ultimately, if you have any deductible, coinsurance, or copay expenses, we will then bill you for those services based upon your underlying plan design. So, okay, sounds all good, but how much is it really going to save me, John? So let's say your plan design is a deductible-based design. So typically for counseling sessions, the average cost to see a counselor per session ranges between $100 and $200 per session. So if we just average it out and let's call it $150 per session, and your employer offers you 3 sessions per issue per year, potentially, let's say you're dealing with anxiety, you could save yourself $450 that year. Imagine all things you do with $450. You can certainly put it in a meme stock. You can use it to pay down credit card debt, student loan debt, potentially save for a down payment on a house, or perhaps even if you have children, put in your children's college savings plan. Many things you certainly do with that. $450 is nothing to sneeze at. The other thing worth mentioning here is the plan is HSA compliant. So why is that important? In a previous video, we had talked about what an HSA is and how much tax savings it provides to you. So typically, one of the features of an HSA in order to be HSA eligible is you need to be enrolled in a high deductible health plan that is qualified. So in other words, for any expenses that are not preventive in nature, the deductible needs to apply before the plan will pay out $1. The IRS came out and ultimately said that the EAP is considered an accepted medical benefit. So what that ultimately means is you could take advantage of the first dollar coverage available from the EAP and also be enrolled in an HSA and take advantage of all the tax savings that is available to you without suffering tax consequences from the IRS. So that sounds like good news to almost anyone. And really, last thing I note about the EAP is probably one of the most underutilized benefits. So employees generally don't take advantage of it because they don't realize that it is out there and available to them. And then from your employer perspective, long-term, they actually save money if people happen to utilize the EAP more as opposed to going through the medical plan. So everyone wins, you win, your employer wins, and there's more money in your pocket or digital wallet, which is even better news. So thanks for joining us for this video. If you like this video, feel free to like this video and we'll provide more as it relates to different benefit topics. If you have any ideas, comments, or concerns, feel free to email us. Our email is friendswithyourbenefits@protonmail.com. Thanks for joining. Until next time.